Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Virtual Workspace. This is the fourth video in my playlist, Citrix Virtual App and Desktop, Step-by-Step Installation and Configuration. In this video, I will walk you through the installation of Citrix Delivery Controller. This is the core component of Citrix Virtual App and Desktop deployment. Before start the installation, let's have a quick recap of my previous videos. In first video, I cover introduction and lab setup. In second video, we have installed prerequisite services like domain controller, DNS, and DSCP. Also, we have added Citrix info server to VW.domain. In third video, we have installed and understand the license server. In the fourth video, we will install and understand the delivery controller. So let's start the installation, and also while installing, I will explain the role of delivery controller. So let me log in into the server and then we will start the installation. Let me log in into the server. Okay, so the ISO file already attached to this server, the ISO image. Let's start the ISO image. It's open now. So we are installing delivery controller on this server. This is one of the core Citrix component. So I selected delivery controller. It will, as we install license server on this server, that's why it's showing this window. If you are installing fresh, or if there is no any other component, it will directly start the installation. So I am selecting add components. It will start the installation soon. Okay, so here is the list. In this video, we are installing only the delivery controller. If we select all this component, it will take time. So we will later install Studio. So we will install this later. So I just selected delivery controller. If you are installing this in your lab, you can install at a time Studio, Web Studio, and Studio. You can also select director at a time, but it will take time. So it is better to install one by one. So I'm just going with the delivery controller. In next video, I will install this remaining 3 components. So let's start the installation. So here, so for Citrix, we need a separate dedicated database. So for that, you can use Microsoft SQL Server. You separately install the database on a dedicated server. In production, normally there is a separate server or database, but in my lab, I'm installing it on the same server. So if you have additional database, you can skip this, but you need to additionally install the SQL Server database. But I am using this SQL Express edition with this for our lab. But in production, there is additional one more server unit is there for a database. So I am going with the SQL Express. The port here I have selected automatic. Okay, installation will start soon. Now selected install. So installation is started now. It will install some prerequisites like Microsoft Visual and localhost cache. That is one of the local database. This is I will install about I will explain about this in later in next video. I will create a separate video for that. This is also one of the important concept. I will explain later. Localhost cache in short, it will create a database on local server. If Citrix if Citrix lost connection with the database server, at that time it's that Citrix use the localhost cache to broke the session. But there is some limitation. If database goes down, user still can access the Citrix, but there is some limitation. In detail, I will explain in upcoming videos. So installation is started now. It will take some time. So meanwhile, I'll just explain. I will just explain about the delivery controller. What exactly delivery controller do, and what exactly the responsibility of delivery controller. So let me switch to the window. So delivery controller. This delivery controller is a core component of Citrix virtual app and desktop deployment. It's both. It is delivery controller manage all the session requests, and it's work as a load balancer. Whenever user login into the Citrix, that packet goes to the storefront server first, and from the storefront, once it's authenticated properly onto our storefront server, then after that the package goes to the delivery controller. So delivery controller check the assign application that user, and once delivery controller get that detail from Active Directory. So delivery controller will communicate with the Active Directory and get that detail assigned row. And once delivery control get that detail, it will find out the list loaded server for that user. So delivery controller work as a load balancer of and once it found the list loaded server, it give that IP address to the storefront server, and storefront server create a ICA file for that user, and ICA file and then user will get the ICA file, and once it click on that ICA file, the connection is established between the session of server and the client using Citrix workspace application. So about this, yeah, and also it's manage the power stage and registration of the session of server. All the session of server register on the delivery controller only, and most of the component are communicate to delivery controller, and delivery controller manage everything like delivery control communicate to the session of server. It communicate to the storefront server. It's also communicate to the database and the Active Directory. There is a separate port for each component communication, and I'll explain that later actually. And also it's manage the it's also communicate to the hosting service, like if you add a hosting service VMware, or it's manage the communication from Citrix to VMware. If you are using MCS, in that scenario, it manages the communication. It's create a new machine on VMware using that host connection. So in short, delivery control is the main and critical component. If it is down, all your Citrix site will down. No one can access any. And so if the delivery controller is down, so there are around about services. There are around 21 to 22 services are running on the delivery controller, and each service communicate with the database and other Citrix component. Here are some important services. Broker service. It's one of the important service which is run on the delivery controller. Broker service manage the session. Whenever a user try to access the broker service, help user to find out the restored server, and broker service established a connection between session host server and the client device or Citrix workspace. And the second important service is machine creation service. So this machine, this service is important if while configuring a delivery group, if you select MCS, that machine creation service will create a VM behalf of you. This service create a VM on the as per the request. This service is responsible to create a VM on VMware workspace. It's communicate to the VMware workspace, and if you add additional machine, it will that service is responsible to create a VM on the workspace, or sorry, on a VMware on VMware. If this service is down, then it will if this service is down, it will not create a VMs. The second important service is configuration service. So this service communicate to the database, and it will if there are any changes in configuration, this service monitor that, and if there are any changes on the configuration level, it will communicate to the data. It will update on the database. So this service communicate between delivery controller and database, and update administrative changes on database. The second is AD identity service. This service is responsible for authentication. If AD service is down, a user this service communicate to delivery controller to AD. If this is down, user authentication will fail. The other hosting service. This service manage communication between delivery controller and the hosting platform, whatever you select. Normally for VMware or delegated administration service. This service manage authentication, and the monitoring service is for the monitoring purpose. So these are the important services of the delivery controller. There are total 21 services, but I just added important services here. So let me check the installation status. Let me switch to the main screen. Oops, okay, the lab screen. Okay, still installation is going on, and it will take time as we are installing the database also. For that, we are installing Microsoft SQL Server. So it take time. To save your time, I will skip this installation. Once it completely ready, I will. Microsoft SQL Server installation is completed now. So let me click on close. Server will reboot after that, and after restart, installation will start automatically. So normally it will while installing delivery controller, it will reboot 2 to 3 times. We just need to wait. Installation will start automatically. So Citrix Delivery Controller installation is started now. It will take 10 to 15 minutes. Once it completed, I will start again. Thank you. Hello, welcome back. So installation is still going on. Delivery controller installation is completed. The last initialization is going on, and after that it will complete the installation. And in next video, we will configure the delivery controller. There is while creating a site, we will configure the delivery controller. So now we are just doing the installation, and after in next video, I will install Studio and Web Studio, Citrix Studio and Web Studio, these two components. And after that, the store delivery director and storefront server. So once the installation is completed, we will configure our site, and while configuring the site, I will show you the configuration of all the components, like for the storefront server, delivery controller, a license server, and the Citrix session server. We need to install video agent on Citrix server. So after that, we will configure that. And once site is configured, we will publish the application and we'll test the user access management. So installation is completed now. So let me click on next. Okay. All the component are installed successfully. Let me click on finish. I will just untick this because we are not configuring the site in this video. Once all component installed, we will do that. So let me click on finish. So installation is completely successful, completed. How? So in next video, we will install Web Studio and Citrix Studio, and we configure that. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in next video. Thank you.